Well, what's up, gamers? I'm definitely not talking about Trigger's ass. Today we're talking about the 50/50 banner changes, right? Um, the answer was Rena. Anyways, um, or the largest was Rena. Look, this besides the point. Um, there's a new 50/50 system in Honkai Star Rail, and I think it's worth talking about because of how bad some of the standard characters are. Okay, that's the thing that's important. Chat, we can refer to our very important discussion later. So, starting in version 3.2, Trailblazers can select up to 7 non-featured characters in the event warp. The initial selection of customizable non-featured 5-star characters includes Fushuan, Blade, Zila, and all of the 7 standard 5-star characters, right? Trailblazers can select a total of 7 characters from above the 5-star characters added to this list, right? Tastes like a watermelon. Wait, I didn't even realize what you just said, bro. I don't like Rena like that. Oh my god. Yeah, chat's wilded over here. Chat's wilded. For starting from 3.2, Trailblazers can choose Fushan, Blade, Zila to replace 3 standard 5-star characters. Yep. Please note that the customization feature for non-featured 5-star characters is exclusively available for character event warp and does not apply to Light Cone event warp, Stellar warp, or Departure warp. So this only applies to the limited banner, so like Cast Rice's banner, for example, right? You must select exactly 7 non-featured 5-star characters for this customization. This option does not affect the actual warp rates. There's a 50% chance that it will be the featured boost character. There's also a 50% chance that it will be any of the obtainable 5-star characters, and they'll warp with equal possibility among them, right? I watched it already, bro. It's uploaded on YouTube. Uh, optimization of the 5-star character Eidolon surplus. So we've already gone over this. Again, it'll be in a separate video. It's her demo. Go watch her demo. Basically, if you pull 6 copies of a character, right? 6 plus the original one. Bro. Anyways, is if you pull max dupes of the character, any dupe after that is going to be a shard, and that can be converted if you get 2 of them into a gold shard to buy a copy of a character from the shop. The current shop characters are Luocha and Ron Mei. That's going to be a separate video, though it should be obvious. I'm just milking it for content. That being said, what we're actually here for, who between these should you replace, right? Because we're not going to get the option to lose 50/50 to Zila, Blade, or Fushuan if we want to replace any of the standard cast. Now, I'll tell you right now, I'm immediately going to replace Yangqing. Because, for one, I already have Yangqing. 2, I don't know what I'm going to do with any of his dupes. Sure, it's possible that they were like, let's buff Yangqing. But come on, are we really going to go on the off chance that my free-to-play is going to be like, yeah, let me lose 50/50 to Yangqing and hope that he gets a buff? Look, replace him with any of the 3 immediately. I think that's what you should do, and that's what I'm definitely going to do. Now, the option rests on what about the rest of them, right? Ignore the fact that Trigger's Gat just showed up on screen. Not important. So we're going to mark out Yangqing, because we're going to replace him with one of these 3. And now we have a real conversation between who should you do, who should you replace after the fact, right? Should you replace Clara, Japard, right? Bailu, whatever. I would suggest, because even though I don't think Fushuan is that impactful for your account, right? As she's not anywhere near the actual top sustains. And for one, Gallagher's better. I would actually say it's arguably worth it to remove Bailu and put Fushuan. Because while that is the Here, we'll just we'll do that. Because despite the fact that she's not really that worth it, having another strong enough sustain is going to be really good for new players. And also the fact that if you suck at building characters, her plus 10 quit weight, well, plus 10 quit weight, uh, can help you do a bit more damage, right? Is it something you should rely on? No, not at all. You should not rely on her crit rate for your builds, but it can help. And so this character, in my opinion, has more value than Bailu, even if she's not like the number one sustain, right? She's still solid enough sustain. And unlike Bailu, she actually has some debuff prevention. So that's going to be pretty good for most people if they just, suck at the game, right? So that's something worth noting. And so this makes it pretty clear who you should replace, right? That you should replace Yangqing and Bailu for either one of these options, right? Now, in my opinion, I think Zila is going to be way more beneficial than you than Blade. And yes, Blade is getting buffed, so I could be completely wrong about this. But as of right now, Quantum is a less important element, or not a, sorry, Quantum isn't as big of an element for characters. And I'm considering the fact that you're not getting Caster Ice. If you're getting Caster Ice, then it's like, yeah, sure, you can just completely ignore this advice of like going for Zila. Because if we're being real, Zila needs buffs. She's not that good. But I'm saying if your alternative option is Yangqing, I feel like you could get him over Yangqing. Just saying. But yeah, if you are getting Caster Ice, then you might want to leave Yangqing there, right? Other than that, though, that leaves us with these 5 down here, right? Bronya, Welt, Himiko, Gepard, and Clara. Now, here's the thing. Clara is still an okay usable DPS, and so I kind of wouldn't replace her. Bronya does have her uses, even if she's been, power crept for in terms of like relevance for characters like Sunday. She still has her uses. And then Welt and Himiko are actually legitimately good. And so my suggestion would be to remove Gepard. Because Gepard has one niche use, and that's if you have Acheron and then you're inside of Pure Fiction. Anywhere else, he's just kind of ass, right? And like, even with Acheron's example, as soon as you get a Venturine, just you're never using Gepard again, right? So like, while he does have the one use in one team, his dupes just suck, like how the other character's dupe sucks. Bailu and Yangqing's dupe sucks. He's not that good. It's one team, one mode. He doesn't do enough sustain in other areas. You should just replace Gepard, right? And while Blade isn't that good, as I said, I could be wrong about things, and he is getting buffed. So losing 50-50 to a character that's probably going to be meta relevant, or at least we can cope that he'll be meta relevant, doesn't sound too bad to me. Just saying. So I think that makes the choice pretty clear. I don't think this is a topic that really needs to be meandered on, right? Like it's pretty clear you're going to get rid of the worst of and replace them with these better alternatives, right? At least in my opinion. And of course, if you are going for something like Caster Ice, then maybe Yangqing's going to be more beneficial to your account. He's not good, but maybe you need a usable Ice DPS in some way. So yeah, hopefully this helps in your decision making. Again, I'm not really sure what to say past this, because at the end of the day, it's just selecting who you want to lose 50-50 to. And these center characters are not really sought after, right? At least half of them aren't. While 3 of them are still decent enough to make use out of, right? And so you're kind of just doing worse of. We'll see what happens to if Fu or Zila gets buffed. And this is the main thing, that these are the characters that are going to be targeted for buffs most likely, right? And so replacing them in your 50-50 pool is also going to possibly bring future value with the fact that they could potentially be buffed, right? But buffs are starting in 3.4. We'll see what happens. As I said, I don't want to like stay on this topic. I don't think it's very complex. It's going to be whatever you're looking for your account. Because again, this is just a 50-50 loss. You can't control this. It'll happen when it happens. And so that's really about it. So yeah, like, subscribe, check me out on Twitch. And I'll see you later. Yo, chat, stop being freaky!